home top 8, but Miami, you're feeling great.
Yeah, that's massive. The comeback ever, plus another takeover. Yeah, Heretics are feeling pretty positive right now. Overload to come to finish off our Elimination Friday. Don't go far. I feel like we're in for some more drama. We'll be right back.
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL. Scuff, official controller of the CDL. Start the season strong with the 2026 Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL operator by scanning the QR code on screen or check it out in the Call of Duty store in-game now.
Let's find out who's built for the next team. Heretics ready to dive in.
Stiff forward Snoopy.
Once more. Behind you with the switch impossible. You think it's not true. It's science. Dominance on the branded stage.
We're playing the ball.
Oh my god. You got bike isn't it?
On the door.
I think it's behind you, behind you.
This is awful. I'm going Toronto. I got Toronto winning this series. I think they get it done in 4.
You're like a mix of George Washington and a Disney prince.
What does that do? Oh, okay. Production, this is a sick, weird joke. Give me my pick back now. I'm going LA Thieves. Got him! I got Texas, baby. Snap, bro. Where'd you pull that from?
What the hell is going on in Columbus?
You never know what's going on with David in the venue, face down by red jumpsuit apparatus playing, and that might be the story of the Vancouver Surge right now. Not looking great, and especially this series, but I don't know, it feels like the conversation may extend beyond just this series if we can't find a bounce back here in map 3.
Oh yeah, we need it, man. We need it. And when you think about when this roster was first formed, when TJ entered the building, this was the map that started that reverse versus Boston. So still got a little bit of hope. Definitely still thinking about that map number 1, and especially what Bellows just did to you in that Search and Destroy. But until that opposite side says 3-1 side, you gotta continue to fight. Because for such a young team, sometimes people say you don't really have a lot to play for. But these guys know that there's heavy pressure on them to potentially still be in the league after this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much riding on it. I mean, every time we get to a major one, we're looking at the bottom 4 teams with the same attention to detail of what happens when we get on the land. And to be fair, there have been moments of inspiration from Vancouver, but this series, I think, extinguishes almost all of that, just based on how map 1 went. And I think on the other side, just kind of talking to the Miami story, you're sitting here like, wow, we're gross. Let's just kick these guys to the curb and start talking about tomorrow as fast as we possibly can. So it feels like a confidence-boosting map for Miami, whereas for Vancouver, it's about maybe season saving for the individuals that are on stage.
You just need to stay alive, man. Need to find your slaying prowess here on Star Overload. The map can sometimes come very, very quickly when you take a look at this bracket. It's Still a lot of good teams remaining. Obviously, everything through the winners bracket side will go down tomorrow. That's going to be a show.
Yeah, dude.
FaZe and Falcons to start off that day. Those are two teams that were sitting in top 4 seeds, so that's going to be a banger.
I know it. On the other side, dude, talk about those upper bracket semis. How about these looking clean 3-0 in their opening day? Get Paris, who I would say just kind of based on how the first day went. Would you say that it was the most impressive day one? I think that's how I would classify Paris.
Paris?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Because they were able to face adversity early on to the hard points and then dominate them. You also had Sid going crazy. Then at an overload, you're down 0-2 versus Koi. You think they're going to run away with it, and then you don't allow them to score ever again. So Paris, without question, on the top dog going into tomorrow.
G2 Optic. What are your thoughts there?
Ooh, that matchup right there, I'm telling you, don't underestimate the underdog. Because if you give G2 one of those submachine gun maps, Sky, for some reason, is more comfortable with an SMG in his hands than an AR. And that's your crap. You know what those guys are capable of. Optic do win an overload, though. That was the biggest thing that I was thinking that they needed to get underneath their belt, especially early into the tournament, for them to make a deep run. It's just that matchup. I don't know.
Were you more impressed with G2 or Optic yesterday?
Definitely G2 the way that they won versus FaZe, because everybody had FaZe on such a high pedestal, and every single map, you just take that away from them. Search and Destroy was flawless. You found 8 First Blood in the SD, and in the Overload, you had a 2-5 comeback with 2 minutes left. So all the way, so for sure on G2 side.
Other side of that conversation, the winner of this match, I believe, plays the loser of that match. I think the loser of Optic and Minnesota fall down to play the winner of this one. So lots on the line there, especially I think if you're an Optic fan and the premise of potentially having to play there.
16 on that.
Is Vico in the building?
He might make an appearance.
We'll see how it all unfolds tomorrow. But for now, we have to consider what we still have on stage. And I think for the most part, you know, we talked a little bit when we had Miami earlier today that, hey, they are finding their fuel on this boat all of a sudden. It feels like the last couple of weeks it's gotten better. It felt really timid, really reserved out of Miami, trying to find the perfect conditions. Now it feels like they're getting a little bit looser, and that's been huge for them finding success overall.
Yeah, it's been a perfect combination of what you want to happen if you are Miami. Initially, you start the season as one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. You get a new guy into the mix. You got to figure out your search and destroy in your overloads. And at LAN, you've already been able to put it together. What is that, like 3-1 SD overall?
Yeah.
Drake's looking a lot more comfortable. Obviously, Meadows is going to shy away from the child, knowing that he's got Super watching over him. And Rancor is just the backbone of this team. Mr. Ice.
It's been good, man. It really has. And I think for Miami fans, it's nice to see the team finding form early in the year. And, you know, to be fair, like, we didn't see them make long runs last year at majors in particular. I think it's just, you know, seeing what we saw early and having questions about where is the search going to be, where is the overload going to be, especially in December. Now all of a sudden we're starting to get a couple of answers, and it feels like they're just at a point where let's just build out the map pool. And we've gotten that a lot today, especially with the rate searches and watching the highlight.
It's a lot easier when you don't really make a lot of roster changes. You need 3 of the 4 core rosters that put you on the pedestal all of last season. And a lot of it is due to what this guy has done so far. We always said it last year, whenever this guy goes off, Miami stand a pretty good chance. And with him putting up numbers like that on that map number 2, that's unmatchable. First in every category.
Yeah, I will say, like, talking to the general narrative surrounding Miami, if we continue to go back to if Metals pops off, Miami wins, that's great news because, let's be honest, all the focus at the beginning of the year is on Trace. For one reason or another. Shout out Roma. But I think the thing about it is, now your rookie is showing up across all 3 modes. He's doing the dirty work, I think, especially when it comes to what he's doing in Surge. So you need to kind of keep your focus on players like Super, who were in takeover mode, players like Rancor, who were a sudden surge to this Miami team, and of course, like we talked about all through last year, if Metals is popping off, Miami typically wins.
You know what's so scary too is that Miami figured out what their identity was last season after Super gets picked up. Now you pick up Trace to start off the year. So it was a slow start in Search and Destroy the overloads, but they are quickly turning that around, man. So it's not going to take Miami so much time like it did last season to beat one of those squads that you simply just don't want to play against, because they got hard points almost on lock. They just need to figure out their breaks. Well, SCDs are starting to get more consistent in their overload. They're finding their slang.
Yeah, I was going to say, the consistency is always a big key, especially when you start talking about what's coming up next. Stage 2, round robins against every team in the league. First time we've seen that. Whereas, you know, again, if you're looking at a team like Vancouver, who find themselves at the bottom of the standings with teams like Cloud9, yes, you get a win here in Dallas. That helps you a touch, but you're going to get 11 games in Stage 2. You've got to have something working to start getting some points.
And you're going to be playing every single team. So at the end of Stage 2 all-on matches, we're going to know who's the best and who is the worst. You got to go through every single level of Call of Duty. The best teams in the world. But finally, we're ready to load in. Into map number 3 we go.
See what we get. Star. Here for it. Obviously. If I wasn't here for it,
I'd be like, where are you at now?
Full candidate. Yeah. Finish on Friday. And another, again, talking about that conversation from Miami map pool. Can they add another one into the mix here? Because we've really seen them largely, especially lately, playoff exposure. So something to learn here from Miami fan for Vancouver again. It's trying to about save this series and potentially your season as a tenured CDL pro. We'll see how things unfold as Drake's already found one in metal. We're going to get through on this route. And with the win on the back, now you could possibly set up an early grab.
Yeah, you better hope that Gwen has an angle to keep the EP right in front of him. Watching him from long distance, we're running right up the middle of the map. And that's already 4 dead with Surge spawning in the back of their base. This is not the start you're looking for.
Yeah. Good angle from Drake's on 4. Lunars clears out one of the spawn trappers with the other. Now it is just down to Drake's. He's already got 5. Over the pistol. Looking for an angle. Finds himself a corner. Couple of shots thrown over the fence. Not quite able to find the kill, but sets up a great corner. Not quite for the double. And Metals will have to kind of pause and wait for a moment.
Yeah, unless Super pops all 3 here. Gwen is going for a flank. He does get caught. One playing in a position, and no one is watching the EMP. Yeah, I think Vancouver is still thinking about map number 1 because this is just completely out of sync.
They do realize playing over there. This has not been a good start for Surge. Drake's on an 8-1 start. Tagged up, going to play just bottom side of the Vancouver base. You do have a couple players for Surge towards Motel. And Miami are heavy investing and trying to set up the spawn trap here. DJ is not going to recognize that he had an opportunity to potentially get a grab and go, but it is Gwen for a couple of kills to reset how this map's filling out right now.
You still got to take care of the guys in your spawn. Super is influencing you to spawn consistently over towards White Wall. So you know there's players in your base, but just not finding the kills. And now Super on a tremendous route finds kill number 3. The only one that can stop it is Gwen, and he gets pistoled. And that's already 3-0 in less than 2 minutes.
What is happening? If we didn't feel like it was already kind of a mental break after the hard point and Surge, my guy, that is a 2-minute, not even? Oh, I was going to say 2-minute halftime, still a chance for it. Defense stepping up, and Metals will drop. Last one alive is Super. Does find the win, but too many members spawn up close. We'll see a little bit more of this first half.
Okay, Vancouver, let's go. We need to come alive here. We need to start fighting some gunfights and put ourselves in a position to take the map control away. It's Gwen again, popping a double. Able to leave on the backside of blue. But when you're up by 3, you can hit some of these long routes, so Super's going to find one off the spawn. The other pinch is coming in, you get bad timing. But it's a 1v3, Lunar's last man standing.
You can try to lose the spawns run a little longer, but Lunar's double will have things again. Just taking a moment of pause. Keep your eye on number 8. 8 playing around the back. Should be able to get a free round here at Metals. And that could lead to a grab-and-go situation. Metals will drop. Just trying to hold that mid. Able to find one with the pistol. Not quite able to find the second, but enough time killed Miami to spawn up.
Now you lead blocker is sitting at top Motel. Looking for an opening kill. Does find one, but everybody else is falling like flies. Reset comes in. Mid 40 still left to play with. Vancouver is just consistently on the back foot, man. You have no map because you can't breathe.
Gunfights at least stabilize the map just a touch. Vancouver can find a way to score that would give some forgiveness to how this map had started. DJ over the top lane. Trying to get a read.
They clear out base. Our lead blocker is TJ. He needs to win a one-on-one. Open up this lane. Potentially let one by you on the bench. You take care of Red Core, TJ gets nothing done, and now you're going to slow down again.
Up top to find the opener. but the carrier will drop super, turns that into another. Up top, Looters is in some trouble. Able to stay alive for now, has help as the spawn, but the Surge has them moving through Motel quickly. EMP's still down right in front of the steps, but TJ trying to force it. No, not quite able to. The EMP will reset back in a bit.
35 seconds now for Surge. Get one on the round. Miami more than happy to just play keep away. You see how they're trying to set up this final push. Drake's working on this deep pinch, knowing that Vancouver eventually have to give it on up. The timings that work in favor of Looters. TJ finds a second, that's free, that someone will achieve the EMP.
Super elusive, able to slip away. He get an angle to find one. Here comes the cross from Looters. He's low.
There we go.
Through the finish line. And if Abe can find a kill, maybe he can get out over now. We're going to see this half come to an end. So, okay. An atrocious start for Vancouver.
Awful.
But we get out of the board. We're only down 2. This is still doable.
Yeah, definitely still doable, but just that first 3 minutes of that game. It's like they never played it before. Watch for some of those arrows. They give up 3 scores in less than 2 minutes. But at least you show some fight here at the end. Essentially the strongest side there for Miami. Vancouver are looking to have the same exact response, but you can't allow people to live in your base. And if you do, you got to work the OE and play the reset. Just not doing either one in sync. Yeah. Now Bax gets the wall down 2. Got to score quick.
But at least we're starting to heat back up here a little bit. Let's see what the break-off looks like for Vancouver. Miami full flood on their way over. 8-4 to be active over top of this helicopter crash site. Wade front walk cut off. Surprise by Metal. Miami looking for flood and trying to take away space, but halted, and Vancouver can stabilize the touch early.
Big kill out of TJ, but Drake's making some space for it. He lines up 3 off the spawn. And now you know that he puts them on the objective. Just gotta take care of him. And hopefully your team that's out finds a kill, but the 8 falls, Drake's still alive.
He's still finessing. He's getting a little bit of help from Red Corps. Trying to get off the regen. Still down to 2 HP. Now finally back to full. Still streaking. 5 in a row. Both drop. Super significant of the team, not do too much with it. And a little bit of defensive stand comes through here for Vancouver.
A little bit of focusing on the point right there, Miami. Definitely an opportunity to get another one with Alley, but now the AP over towards Motel. Down to reset in the next 5 seconds, and that's exactly what happens off the back of Super's double. Another one right in front of TJ. You want to buy your life? Go for the ego, child. Good enough if he finds it, okay?
Possible spark plug right there. Vancouver have a little bit of forward pressure at the 50-yard line, but Abe was the 1v1 from the plane. Drake's understanding that TJ's somewhere right in front of him, but he also doesn't play his life as Vancouver starts to step up. Quinn stepping over, trying to get up and over, not going to work. Drake's now trying to take away the space. They look for somewhere they've been able to find it. It's able to at least stabilize and kill 320 block.
Keeping on the line if you are Miami. Pinch strike kill feed, but it's more highlighted in orange. So Miami no need to sweat yet. Long route developing for Drake's. Has a one-on-one with the top greens, and now Vancouver trapped in the middle of the map. Gotta turn you around. There's pressure everywhere now. That's already forwarded. Here we go. Potentially another score.
Vancouver's got 2 lead blockers in front. You avoid the opening nades. Slip past the crossing angle, and Super will catch another score. 4-1 the count. Good exit kill though for Vancouver. The Red Corps by himself, but he's in the most powerful position on the map, and he'll find himself one, but a good shutdown from Gwen has Vancouver potentially looking for an execute.
Yeah, you have the map control that you want. Just need to slay your way through the middle of the map. Retrieve the EMP. But every time you're thinking about it, you're losing those fights. Another 4 dead in the feed for Miami. You already have Super in the spawn. Doesn't lead to any kills, but now you guarantee yourself all the map control.
Yeah, and this is a great position for Drake's to try to stop any reinforcements from getting high ground control. He'll only be able to find one. Metals up and through the window. Comes in a bit surprisingly so as TJ falls before Metals hits this route. So trying to set up the right position for Miami. They're going to get a grab out of Red Corps. As long as they can pass the mid-cut, could be a score, but Looters is there to beat him.
Yeah, now Metals just allow him to get it and walk away. Find every kill that you possibly can. Only find one. 2v2 still for the map control. EMP retrieve on the side of Surge. You just need the opening kills to go your way. You're still not finding them.
Drake's just sliding through mid, dude. What a story for Drake's. 29-20 And it looks like with a minute 30 on the clock, this is pretty much just a victory lap. And he's doing his thing out here. I'll tell you what, man, what a story coming out of Challengers last year, a bit unexpectedly so. And now an opportunity to see Miami get it to another day.
Now Rencore, minute 20. Oh, EMP right in front of me. All I need is one kill. And now you're forcing all of Vancouver to turn around and try to locate where you are. Spot him. If you are aim, you get the kill. You still have TJ clearing out space towards mid-tank, so 2 dead. EMP right up the middle of the map. Another score there for Vancouver. They still got time.
Still got time. Can't step off the gas here if you're Miami just yet. And how about Abe? He's kind of slipped the net. Trace was looking for him initially, but have lost him. Rencore's nade lands, and that will reveal that Abe is playing from behind. Nice shots, though. Finds himself a second. Win gets one more, and a chance to just grab and go here. Spawns are all the way out towards white ball. Looters gets it across. Can he survive the incoming nades? Yes! And now we're at 35 seconds. Vancouver's only down 1.
And it's Abe, man. Abe single-handedly staying alive in the spawn on 4 in a row. Almost finds kill number 5. But now 5 to 25 seconds. You give yourself one last shot. You go 3 dead, all 4 dead at the wrong time. You got to get the map control and retrieve the EMP for you to tie this game.
And you can see Miami is just going to grab it, play over towards Motel, and just stay alive. And the trades are looking decent for now. Metals in some pressure here. Pistol works out for the first, but Vancouver will have a chance to see this thing go into one more push. Rencore's the only one still alive, but that's all you need. He finds you too. Looters able to finish things off here to possibly create one more chance. 22 seconds, you got to go.
We got to go through Blaine. Did not try to bully your way through the middle of the map because time is ticking. Final 15 seconds.
The TJ drops over towards white ball, and the EMP carrier will fall. A late charge for Vancouver, not enough. And Miami will see them clean up a 3-0. Most impressively, though, that hard point comeback, I think, will live in their minds in terms of confidence boosting going into tomorrow.
Yeah, man, that map number 1 truly was the definition of this series. Because Vancouver take it, they look way different in that surf. The Destroyer playing with more confidence. Potentially a different result here, but for the first 90 seconds to give up 3 scores. Without anyone watching over the EMP, or if you were, you didn't really have the proper angle to watch the EMP. So you give the early lead to Miami. On the second half, they're just able to slow down, play more keep away, more slay heavy. And even though you gave a late game heroic push to potentially tying that game and forcing overtime, it's Rencore again. Mr. Bailout with that AR continues to shine.
That's inspiring stuff for Miami. Seeing him be as consistent as he was on land last year, showing up to Dallas and being able to do the same thing, impressive stuff. But it's Trace, man. 34-25, 11 assists, 26 non-traded. I'm impressed, man. Again, it's just a heck of a story. Kid from Argentina gets his first real good look at North American Challengers last year, instantly picked up to fill a vacancy unexpectedly at Miami, and he's really been an X factor today, at least for Miami.
Oh yeah, he's doing the same exact role that Real's doing, and you saw what Real did for Coy. Yeah. That leads to nothing. Trace is more comfortable with this lineup with some time underneath his belt. Popping takeover and hard points at times. Overload, you can't take him out of your spawn. Young gun, he's here to play.
Insane stuff, but all 4 members for Miami showed up today. Maybe most impressively, Metals, who's on stage with our guy Blaze.
I got him with me here, Metals himself. Give a round of applause to the Miami Heretics. They will make it to Saturday. And I got Metals with me. You know, maps 3, it was a 3-0. Maps 3, maps 2, self-explanatory. Map number 1, the comeback. You guys were a few points away from losing that hard point, but a few missed score streaks, you know, you being posted up in that hill, you guys were able to close it out. From your perspective, how did you guys win map number 1?
Thank you. I mean, on the first map, we were getting shit, I'm not gonna lie, but at the end, I felt like I couldn't lose a gunfight. And after that combat, I knew it was gonna be a 3-0 easy.
Yeah, man, you definitely took that energy because in map 2, you wasn't dying to anybody. We saw you popping off 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and getting the job done. Now, it's been a difficult split for you guys online, but here on land, you guys are starting like a totally different team. You know, is it just being on land, or have you guys figured something out and started to flow to become better?
It's on land, you know? Yeah. I mean, I feel like the game is not perfect online. If you play like outside Dallas, it feels horrible, but online it feels incredible. I think that's why we're playing so good right now.
There you go, and it's definitely looking like it. I'm pretty sure, I know you guys will take that momentum into Saturday against whoever you play. Now, there is a lot of passionate fans in this venue, at home, around the world, who has been cheering your name and been cheering like crazy. What do you want to say to them in English or Spanish? And we'll get you out of here so you can prepare for tomorrow.
Que muchas gracias a todos los que nos apoyáis. Espero que hayáis disfrutado el primer partido, sobre todo, que yo sé que ese se vive con mucha emoción y que muchas gracias a todos por seguir apoyándonos todos los días.
You heard it here from Metals, everybody, okay? They're going to lock in going into tomorrow, and they got this for you guys. That's going to do it for us on the desk. Chris, take it away.
I don't know what's better, is S&D or skincare. Well done by Metals, the man popping off. And Ali, he wasn't able to beat Super's record of 16 kills in a single game. But now I feel like we need to start tracking kills per round, because if you gave him more, he was on pace to beat it for sure.
No, that's a really good point. I mean, they closed that out pretty quick, and it's 6-2 fashion. I mean, for Miami Heretics, this is kind of what we expected. You know, for Vancouver Surge, so I will say, like, I didn't expect that map one to be as close as it was, so, like, props to them, the way that they were looking able to show up, but, like, Miami's just unreal, dude.
I'm giving them props. They choked so hard. That's the worst choke of the weekend. You had 2 Hellstorms. We'll revisit it. Let's roll the highlights and let's talk about it.
Guys, they have no success. Like, they got a win here. They get close to the hard point.
I'm not here to give them moral victories.
You're very nice, Al.
Yeah. It was just a really, really bad breakdown. And honestly, you heard Metal say it. Like, after that match, he knew they were going to win. Everybody in the world,
Mental boom.
Mental boom, exactly.
Chance,
What's up, man?
not a lot to cheer for, not a lot to be disappointed by. You just kind of look neutral with this performance in Miami tonight.
What did you cheer for to Miami, man? Like, this is like extra vibes, extra confidence on land, more repetitions. They get the comms going as well. They've proven repeatedly now that they can make absurd comebacks in hardpoint.
Oh, yeah.
SD is absolutely the backbone, and the fact that I think the stat we showed was what? A 4-loss 3 they were at in hardpoint. If that's how they're breaking it, I think tomorrow they're going to be good to go.
Yeah, and you know, you think about this game 3, Trace just taking over. I mean, off the rip of the round, they're like down a man, Trace gets pushed up, finds 2 kills, an immediate spawn trap, and from there they just have a lead. It's so hard to come back and overload. You know, Miami did great. Trace to put up a performance like that to close it out, you gotta feel good for the rest of this loose run.
The Surge Turkey was hoping his boys could double up on their map wins this weekend. They got close. They got 7 map wins now on the season, and more importantly, Vancouver with the 15-point Cloud9. Let's take a look at our bracket, because we sent 5 teams packing. It started with Toronto Coin, who fell to those Heretics in the game 5. Afterwards, it was Carolina exiting. Then we saw FaZe taking down the Breach, and Cloud9 were dismantled by the Falcons. That means we have 8 teams making 7 teams remaining. Chance, what are you fired up for on a big Saturday?
I think honestly the Gentleman Seas match is probably the most difficult to predict, and it feels like the most high-powered, especially as Gentlemen. They had the extra edge. They look like one of the best teams in the game, but these have been improving at a rapid pace, and that is a team with all of the firepower in the world.
And Amos, you were confirming it. G2 could be one of the teams to fall down to play the Heretics. So with the Heretics already guaranteed top 6, how far do you think they go in this event?
Yeah, I mean, even if they have to play Optic, like their search is so good, it's going to give them a chance versus anybody left in
They
this
usually
tournament.
play really well versus Optic.
Exactly. Like, it's a camp that traditionally does well against them. So yeah, for Miami, they just got to take it one game at a time. They could beat anybody.
It was a great day, a 5-match day here on Saturday, and as the venue is wrapping up, we have to go through all the games. It started with, of course, Royal Ravens and Vancouver Surge. The Surge, huge underdogs. Everyone picked the Ravens to go scoring high. Instead of Bluers, his best performance in the CDL, 1.55 on the day.
Yeah, great performance and an insane lower third, but ultimately I think Surge may be happy just to get anything going at all. Finally, some positive takeaways from the team. Obviously, of course, a tough loss in the end, but for Carolina, I mean, that's just a monkey wrench in their entire game plan. Even the positivity they had, it is going to be dire, and it's also not the type of narrative you're ever going to be able to dispel until land again. So the online force for these guys now matters so much. Keep them. You just keep them on the, in the scope.
No, you keep them as a team, but you put them together.
Heretics getting the job done against Toronto Koi. Everyone's wondering what is going to happen with Joe Deceive's crew. Well, Joey played his heart out, disappointed by the rest of the stats on the squad. There will be some tough conversations in Toronto after this event, as Miami was able to get the best of them in a dirty Nesbo.
Yeah, it won't be easy. And what's tough too is even in that search and destroy, when they started to kind of fight back just a little bit, it was purely off of Joe trying to pop off and getting aggressive and trying to get those first bloods. And that's the same thing that happened last year. And as these states lackluster only area that they lean so heavy on that. And so some tough conversations for Toronto Koi for sure. It sucks because there is a lot of talented players on this roster. On the flip side for Miami, their S&D was insane. I think this is the first look at what beast they can be in those games. Because that was something.
Joe Deceive said that's the most unacceptable gameplay I've ever seen. GG's Miami, and he's right. I mean, you go back and watch those searches, they're just lost. But I mean, all but absolutely confirmed. We saw the owner of Toronto Koi come out and say, like, yo, we've lost like this before. We're keeping this team. That's basically what he confirmed on the timeline. So expect to see them run back.
Was that Adam?
Yeah.
He's in the buck. I trust what he says. Here we have the Riyadh Falcons versus Cloud9. It was close in the first hard point. After that, it was all Falcons in the second half. They continue to impress with Exit reaching his peak so far on the weekend. Chance? Not sold on the Falcons yet?
Well, no, not sold just because they had such a tough day one, but I think because their day one was so poor, that just spells disaster for C9. I mean, you had an opportunity to take advantage of the Falcons who, like, in the overload, basically didn't want to play the game, and well, now they're going to have to do soul searching. It's on the game 5 losses. They didn't make up for anything on land. C9, it was a brutal stage one.
Yeah, that's the one team where I'm like, you're the man of that team. You're in the pit the rest of the team. 100%. Like, there's guys that are figuring it out. Like, they're the only team that I'm sure, like, they're making change.
Cloud9 at the bottom of our power rankings, our totem pole, and our standings at the end of Major 1, and they are officially gone to the phase. They continue on after taking down Boston Breach. It was the Zaza brothers in Search and Destroy that did it for me today. 0-4 put a big exclamation on this series, though, with his performance in Respawn.
Yeah, and that found a hard point. I mean, 4 could do no wrong. I think he started off like 7-0, middle map, which is his to have fun with. And this is the phase Vegas that we expected to get this weekend. And 0-4 keeps playing like that. We said that all over the day, that they are going to be very difficult to beat. I do want to give props to Boston Breach, though. I feel like this was a closer series than maybe people would have expected. And they did put up some fight. It's unfortunate that this is the card they pull. Vegas comes up slow as they won. They drop down, and that's got to be round 1. So see you later, Boston Breach. Hopefully we'll do better than that.
Yeah, they didn't think they were playing phase.
No, that's why I said they're going to be so mad seeing Vegas drop down versus G2. You know they were prepping for Minnesota.
My heart broke for little Byron Baldridge. Getting this man some help. He looked devastated at the end for Boston. We take a look at the top performers on the day. Super, Exit, Draze, and Looters all able to shine in different series. Allie, what are we smiling at? Is that good?
I was trying to
That is super, bro. That is unbelievable.
Oh, you played research.
Oh my god.
It's worth mentioning for Super 2. Last year, he was clear-cut best online S&D player, but he was neutralized on land. This year's a little bit different. He's good, he's okay, it's not crazy, but if he's playing like this on land, absolutely godlike.
Yeah, as you take a look at Range 1 KD leaders after 2 days, Rancor jumps into the #1 spot with Hydra at 1-4-2. Lunars broke into the top 3, but he's done for the weekend. It'll be Mercules and Abisi trying to climb the ranks. Who has the best chance of finishing in the top 2 of the players on that screen?
Hydra, absolutely. Hydra, he's never going to touch the hill in hard point. He's only going to go get those kills.
And what do you expect to see tomorrow?
I was just laughing because that graphic was like everybody that played Carolina. What I'm excited for tomorrow is to watch some of the best teams in the world play again. I mean, we got some bangers. Chance said it, Gentleman's versus Steve's is going to be absolutely insane. Make sure your butts in seat for that one.
Thank you all for supporting across all the watch parties, for joining us here on the main channel. And a reminder to lock in 12:15. We'll be coming at you live here, CST, with the pregame show. The matches begin at 12:30 Central. Phase taking on the Falcons. Gentlemen's versus Thieves and G2 versus Optic. We'll kick off the winners bracket semifinals around 2 CST. On behalf of everyone behind the scenes, thank you so much for watching day 2 of Major 1. We'll be back with day 3.
Eifel's done it again. Eifel's done it again. Yeah. It is GG's, ladies and gentlemen. GG's.